the first thing you obviously have to do is on page 19, they ask you to retrieve event backup. Okay, so we're going to open that up. And then they ask you to insert the header as instructed. Now you will remember from the previous ones, from the previous examples that we did, on page 12, there is actually the instructions. Okay, so those of you who have a question paper in front of you, you can go to those instructions. For the rest, you can just listen. So as a header, you have to insert the exam number. So you're going to go to insert header and you're going to put in your exam number here, which is your ID, together with your computer number in brackets. And then you're also going to put in your question with a space in between 9A. Darlings, just for the sake of Murphy's Law, just click somewhere else so that it grabs that header. Sometimes, you type it and then you go out of your header and then for some reason, Excel hasn't grabbed that. You know what I'm talking about. Okay. Please make sure that you use the correct, it says 12 points. So make sure that your header is also in 12 points. Either for they give you the letter size, they Courier New. Okay, I think it was actually on Courier New. Or you could use the other one, you could use, okay, they actually want Courier New. So let's make it Courier New. And then make sure that the rest of your document is also in Courier New 12. Okay. Now remember from Info, when you're working in Excel, this is not a nice view to work in. You don't want these spaces. So when you are working in your header, don't be clicked in your header to go to view because it's going to be gray. Are you with me? You need to click somewhere in your sheet, then go to view and then say normal. Can you see now my headings for my row and my columns is next to it? Okay. Now let's start on page 19. You need to use a function or a formula to change the heading. Okay, now let's quickly revise the difference between a formula and a function. A formula is all of these little buttons that you can get. So let's say it's either a division, a multiplication, a subtraction, or a addition. All of those things are formulas. Okay? Everything you get into your little magic wand, which is the fx function, is your functions. Okay, that is just on the sideline for a refreshment of your brain. Now, they're asking at number 4, and you please need to brace yourself now because it's going to get bumpy. Okay, so please try to forget whatever happened on the weekend and what's coming on the weekend. Focus. It says you must use a function or a formula. Now, we're going to use a function to change the heading. Okay, to a caps lock. In other words, everything must be in capital letters. Now, darlings, if you quickly page to page 21, you will see you'll have to display the formulas. So, therefore, you cannot simply go and retype this thing into caps lock. You're going to lose both of your marks. So, you need to use a function. That function is called upper, for uppercase. Okay. Now, this is how you're going to do it. You're going to select everything here. You're going to cut it because you want to replace it with the actual thing. You're going to go to upper and you are going to paste it there. Are you with me? Okay? And you're going to say, okay. Can you see it has changed it into uppercase and you have used the function upper? Are you with me? Yes. Okay, so let's quickly do. So if I ask you, do you all see the sentence there? You all see the sentence of change it to uppercase. You read it, yes, by number 4. Okay, then you type whatever they give you. In this case, it's the heading. You select it here in the function bar. You right click and you cut it. Are you with me? Yes. Okay. The reason why I'm telling you to cut it is, Akona, then you don't have to go and re-type it again. So it's just an easy way for you to do it. Okay? And also, if you do it in the long way of putting it here equals upper, then you have to know what you do. So it's up to you. There's more than one way. I just like to teach my students select, right click, cut. Are you with me? Okay. Then what's going to happen next is you are going to go to your fx function, yes, and you are going to choose upper because that is the function we're using for the specific thing we need to do. Okay, you're going to double click and you are going to paste that text in there. Are you with me? Yes. Can you see when you use the magic wand, you don't have to worry about any of the inverted commas, etc. So your function is already done and dusted. Okay, so that is number 4. Then we're going to move on to number 5. And we are only going to do number A and D today. We are only going to focus on H lookup and V lookup. Okay. Now let me explain it to you in such a way. Let me say I am going out of, I'm running quickly, I need to be somewhere, but there's a package that is coming for Akona Peter. Okay? The guy delivering this package to Akona Peter in room 83 doesn't know how she looks, so I need to specify where she sits. Where does she sit? In C3. So when that guy is coming or girl is coming into the door, he's going to go C3 and he's going to identify Akona. Now that's exactly how a V lookup or an H lookup is working. Okay, so let me give you an example. You need to engage, and I know this is not something you have done in N4 or N5. You just start your Excel. But you need to, in N6, need to know what's going on in your Excel sheet. So have a little look, okay? There is a table over there, okay? We're going to make it a certain color. Let's make it yellow. And there's another table there inserted for you, and it's in a different way, but let's make that green. Okay, so you've got your 2 tables. All right. Then there's a backup code, which I also see is in my yellow. And I see there's a lecturer influence, which is also in my green table. Do you agree with me? Okay, so I see that stuff. And as you are reading your functions, you're also going to see what it is about. Okay. So going back to the lookup system that I've just explained. If I have a code C, what do you think according to this table is going to be my backup system? What's my backup system going to be? So I've got C. Do you see the backup system is going to be a backup generator? Okay, so you see how to read the table. So if I had to do this in the manually, I had to go see and I had to go and type there, okay, this is a backup generator, don. But that's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to automate that using a function. Okay. Now, there's 2 lookup values or functions. The one is a H lookup and the other one is a V lookup. Okay, how do you know which one to use? Do you see the lookup values here according to your column B is vertically? Can you see that is vertical? Hence, the V, okay, is a V lookup, a vertical lookup. Are you with me? Now look at the lecturer influence. If you look at the subject here, which is also, by the way, part of that, you will see this is a what? This is a horizontal lookup. Therefore, it's going to be an H lookup that we will use when we use that specific table. Are you with me? Okay. Now let's read number 8. Now, if you go to page 20, you will see that I is represented by this column here. Okay. So what is the first step in determining your function? You're going to start with a equal sign. Okay, are you with me? Okay. Then they're asking you to use the reference table, okay, B20 to T25. In other words, they are asking you to use this whole table here for a lookup table, okay? So you're going to start off by saying you are using a what? A VLOOKUP. Are you with me? Yes? Can you see this? You need to focus. C1. What is my lookup value? What lookup value am I looking up? I'm looking up the C. I have the C. I'm going to get the answer according to my code. So I'm choosing that, which is B4. What is my table array? A table array is where does the computer need to look for that, and that is what it's called a reference table. So I'm looking at this one. Are you with me? Okay. But because it is a specific area, can you remember when you have a specific area in N4? We used to use N4. Sorry, F4. F4 means absolute cell reference. So you need to do that on both sides of the end to make sure that it saves your table's reference. Are you with me? Okay. Now in a VLOOKUP, we've got columns, and in a HLOOKUP, we've got rows. You will see that shortly. How many columns do I have in this yellow table? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Where is my answer? My answer. Is it in column 1, 2, or 3? What answer do I want to be displayed here? Backup system. So thank you, sir. It is in column 2. Can you see that? So I'm going to press OK and look at what's going to be displayed here. So if I autofill that, can you see each of these things are aligned with what is given in the table? Are you with me? Okay. Now let's go to D. D says you must determine which lecturer was influenced. So this is going to be D. Assign the range name. Okay. Now, this is the two ways in which your table array, now I'm taking you back to this. This is your table array. Your table array can either be cells like this given to you, or it can be a name. Okay, how do we create a name? Now for this specific one, we actually had to do something different than previous question papers, but there was an error. So we had to go to formulas, we had to go to name manager, and we had to go and delete this one because there was a mistake. Now you can either delete it, which I will do, or you can edit it, okay? Because it's not always going to be there, okay? It's not always going to be there. So let's just see if it's working now. Okay, now it's working. The examiner should have actually not given this to you. It should have been blank. So let me show you. If you went to name manager, there shouldn't have been any name given to a table. Okay, but in this case there was. So I'm telling you now, you either have to edit it or delete it. But normally we tell the students in D, you have to select that table first, right click, say define name, and put in there the word in capital letters influence. Okay, darlings? So can you see now the difference? Either you're going to give it a cell reference like this, and you're going to use absolute cell reference, or you're going to give it a name. Are you with me? And it, sorry. And if you select this whole table, can you see it gives you the name there? or you can go to formulas, name manager, and you can make sure that it's correctly displayed. Okay. Now, how did I say we should start a function? With a equal sign. Okay. Now, one last thing you must remember with a VLOOKUP and an HLOOKUP. Please listen very carefully. You must now remember, the computer works like a machine. It looks for that value, and then it goes to see if it finds the value, and then it gives you the value that is being displayed there. Okay, are you with me? So we need to make sure that because this is a computer, it goes from small to big values, or it goes from alphabetical values. So we need to do a sort on the table. Please, some of you are not listening. You have to sort your table before you can start. Now, the reason I didn't sort my VLOOKUP, okay, is because it was already sorted A to E. Can you see that? So I'm fine with that. But can you see that this is not nicely sorted? There's enforced. It's not correctly sorted in alphabetical order. Okay, so I need to sort this table. The only way in which you can sort it is you cannot include this. So this must not be included in your sorting. Exclude it. In other words, select only this part. Go to your home ribbon, go to sort, say custom sort, and then you choose. You choose sort by. Now, this is the thing that you cannot do. You have to say options. You have to say sort left to right and say, okay, why left to right? Why left to right, darlings? Because it's a horizontal table. Look here. It's left all the way to right. A vertical table is going to be top to bottom. Are you with me, darlings? So please go to the options and choose sort left to right. And then you're going to sort it according to the row 27. How do I know it's row 27? Because this is the lookup value. You sort it according to the lookup value. Are you with me? How do I know it's the lookup value? Because it's the value that's there. The other value is not there, so I cannot sort it according to that. So I say, okay. Are you with me? Okay. Now let's start my lookup. We're going to start with equal, and then we're going to go to, yes, fx. What kind of lookup is this? A horizontal lookup. According to my table, I double click. What is my lookup value? This one. Do you agree with me? What is my table array? The word influence. Are you right? What is my row index number? Now look here. This is columns. The other one was columns. This is rows. Now count with me. Row 1, 2, and 3. Where is my answer being displayed, darlings? In row what? 1, 2, 3. Lecturer is my answer. What is the row? Number 3. So I say 3 and I say okay and I autofill. And can you see Bob's my uncle? Okay. Are you going to try that for me quickly?